Hi, my name's Eliza Cornelian. This is my video journal number 2. So the first question I was asked is, what are your initial thoughts about failure being an important and unavoidable part of your career? So for me, I feel like failure is extremely important in everyday life, as it teaches us to reflect, learn, and grow within our everyday lived experiences and challenges. But in terms of a career, failure is what guides us towards new possibilities and opportunities when one might feel rejected or lost. It's important to note that a failure does not always mean that something is wrong, but rather signals new areas where adaptation and growth can occur. We need to experience failures in order to have humility and continuously grow in our careers. Being too confident, single minded, or rigid in approaching career opportunities will limit career growth and innovation, alongside limit the opportunities and possibilities and discovering important aspects of your own identity, which contributes greatly to your career performance. Leaning into the experiences and lessons of failures and identifying new pathways when approaching career opportunities is a major part of utilizing failure for your own success, rather than dwelling on its initial rejection and negative connotations. A major yet not guaranteed aspect of failure is resiliency, which is extremely important within everyday life. This skill of resiliency teaches individuals how to adapt and cope with unpredictable circumstances, such as the continuous rejection of the post-it note that we saw in the video earlier in this module, this week's work. It pushed us in ways to have optimism and inner strength and to reflect and bounce back off of failures in a way that lead to new pathways and success. Everybody experiences failure at some point in their lives, but some individuals will never acquire resiliency as they develop a very negative, I cannot do it mindset. But resiliency is an extremely useful tool in everyday life, and without failure, resiliency cannot be contextualized and utilized. So my next question was, which of the 3 videos in the unit module resonated the most with you and why? So the video that resonated the most with me was the Carol Dweck's TED Talk. I think it's Carol Dweck, if I'm saying that right. It was her TED Talk on developing a growth mindset. So her idea of saying, I can't do this yet, really stuck with me because I tend to focus on the negative sides and mistakes a lot, and instead of what I can learn from them. It reminded me to practice more self-compassion and mindfulness when I do fail, to reflect without judgment and see challenges and opportunities for growth. In context of the other videos, I did also connect with Jaya Jang's talk on rejection because of his willingness to face discomfort, and it showed how resiliency is built through experience and not avoidance, which is something I feel like we all kind of do when we have a negative experience, just kind of avoid it because it's uncomfortable to be feeling rejected. And also, like Catherine Schultz explained, we often are blind to being wrong until we reflect, which is why I want to keep journaling, meditating, and leaning on supportive people in my life to help me grow instead of getting stuck in the self-criticism cycle, which I think many people struggle with. So my last question is, what are some strategies that you would like to try that can help you develop resiliency when dealing with mistakes? So for me, I don't really struggle with adaptability or problem solving as much, but I do want to grow in areas of mindfulness and building strong support networks. I like to try to develop some more self-compassion when making a mistake, as I usually find myself getting caught up in the negative aspects of failures. I struggle with ruminating about all things I could have done better and obsessing over maybe areas where I should have done this or I should have done that, but not in a way that's positive or actually productive, more in a way of obsessing over the discomfort that I'm experiencing from a mistake. I struggle. I want to start reflecting on my past mistakes with more intent and truly learning and growing from them, not with negative aspects. I'm really good with journaling, but I do think it would be beneficial for me to maybe work on the meditating side of self-compassion, the positive self-talk, and also the deep breath work. And alongside the negative self-images that I develop when I make a mistake, I do also struggle to reach out to others for support when I'm feeling down about the failure at hand. I want to try to be more honest with others, but when I'm going through and build an empathetic support system around myself so I feel better equipped to manage and grow from my mistakes with a positive attitude and grow my resilience. I think it's hard to make mistakes and admit to yourself, let alone other people. I don't like being judged for my mistakes. I know people probably won't judge me, but it's kind of hard to not get caught up in that. So I would say that would be another big area where I'd like to grow. Anyway, thank you.